Okay. Yeah, so it's noisy. So I open my Binance, then you can search for the double top, double bottom, double top, double bottom. The wedge is falling wedge and what? A rising wedge. Then after we are done, then we what? We will consider the other types of what? Patterns. All right. So let me share my screen. Okay. So all of us now and we are going to use Bitcoin USDT chart. We are going to use Bitcoin USDT chart. So if you open, then you go to trade, then you search for BTC USDT price pair or the pair, then we use that one for our studies. Please, can you see the screen? Yes, I can see it. Okay. Okay, so let's change my Bitcoin. Let me change mine because I have drawings on BTC. BTC what? Hey, why are you not coming? Why you? I feel kind of meant my child. The card minimum. Sorry, boss. BTC BUSD. BTC. I'll be using BTC BUSD, but then you use BTC USDT so that I'll clear my drawings. Okay. So, as we are learning, we are also learning how we will draw the various patterns. So, we will be using TradingView, then we will be using Binance. But then, the TradingView has a lot of tools for us to use for our drawing. But today we are going to use Binance because that is the simple app that most of us are using. So, if you want to open the TradingView, the last time I showed you how you can do it. That is after you open the screen, the two places where you have what do you call it? Some candle on top. You have your BTC USD pair. The percentage will be there. Then followed by what? Some two candles. Then you see a dollar sign. So you click on the two candlestick. I hope all of us have seen that candlestick, because the other time we went through that.
Yes.
Okay. So now you click on it. Then after that, you what? You change it to what? Landscape. That one too. You know where what? We have MAEMA, BOLL, VOL, MACD, and those things. But at the far end, you could see some arrows there. Please click on that arrow. Please, can you see it? Can you see that arrow? Below, looking at the below. Yes, you could see I'm clicking on some things down there. But then the far right hand corner, you see some two arrows there. Next to the KDJ. Have you seen it? So click on that too. Please. Today I'll worry you. I stay closer to an information center. It's noisy. Let's click on it, please. I'm here. Hello. Hello. Please, are you here? Yes, sir. Okay. So now, yesterday, I'm saying that before we will draw what? We will draw patterns. First of all, have to what? Know what we call the support and resistance. And we explain it that when we say support, it is what? A zone at which a falling asset will bounce and change the direction. You understand? So at that place, you see what? You see that it will be finding it difficult to go down further. So what we use to indicate this support is that we will see a lot of swing lows bouncing at the same region. When that happens, we call it a support. Then the opposite is a resistance. The opposite is a resistance. That one too. When an asset is moving up, a place or a zone where the direction will change, that one we call it a resistance. And we do this by by drawing a line to indicate that we have support and resistance. So as a trader, one thing you have to take note is that you have to know your support and your resistance. Your support and your resistance. So now in this graph, you have to know where to locate your drawing tools. So here too, you could see your far right hand side, you have MA, EMA, volume, MACD, RSI, KDJ. Please, these are what we call indicators, but then we will study indicators in a different on another day. So today we are not going to study indicators. But below the indicators, you will see a pen pencil, like you see a pencil there. Please, have you seen it? Hello. Please, have you seen the pencil?
Yes, we can see the pencil.
Please, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. I look as if people have spot my this in my envelope. Okay. So now, for you to draw your patterns, your support and resistance and other things, first you have to do what? You have to switch off all indicators. Switch off all indicators. Switch off all indicators. Switch off all indicators. Then you zoom. The zoom, the ICT people please teach us in or out if you want them to be what? To be diminished. Is it in or out?
That's why you zoom in.
Zoom in.
Yeah, I think zoom in.
Either way, let's go.
I think zoom
it's in, right?
Yes.
It's zoom. Okay. So you zoom in. You zoom in like this. So today we are going to draw the support and resistance. When you zoom in like this, you see it like, you see the graph in what? In details. You understand? You see it like this, and you'll be able to indicate the various support and what? Resistance. But then it depends on what? The time frame that you are using. The time frame that you are using. So this one, you will see that it is what? It is on the 3 time frame. The time frame is what is on the top there. So you will see that it is on the 3 minutes time frame. Then 3 minutes time frame. So it depends, but after this I will show you another method that for me personally I used to what? I used to draw my support and resistance. But then let's stick to this 3 minutes time frame, or let's go to 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go to 5 minutes time frame. All of you change it to 5 minutes. If you click on the more here, please, have you seen it? Have you seen the more? The more is also on our far left.
On our screen it is far right. Yes, on our screen it is far right.
Far right, sorry, far right. So change it to 5 minutes time frame. Good. So now we are going to draw what? Support and resistance. But take note, once a resistance is broken, that means it's what? As breaking that zone where it was supposed to come down. Once a resistance is broken, it is now what? A support, and vice versa. It is now a support and vice. So when you break a support, the support then become what? A resistance. I hope it's clear here. So the support and resistance line, when you draw it, they will help you to know your support and know your resistance. That same line can be your support and it can also be your resistance. Alright. So now the pen or the pencil there, if you click on it, you can see we have various tools there, But then when you are drawing what? A pattern, you will use those tools, what we call the trend lines. The trend line. That is what you will use. So first, click on it. Click on the trend line. That first there. Are you there?
We are following. Yes, we are following.
Okay. Okay. Now choose trend line. Choose line, the first one. Okay. So BTC, you put the price at what? 38,200. Have you seen it? Below there. Yes, that place. You could see we have a swing lows there. 3 swing lows there. You could see that. 3 swing low. Good. So if you want to draw your what? Your support resistance, you have to make sure that horizontal line should what? Should at least touch 3 or more lows. You get me? You should at least touch 3 or more swing low. Good. So in this case, you put 1 dot here. This is how we use trend line. You put 1 dot here, then another. So have you been? Please do it. We are making sure that our support resistance is touching what? At least 3 lows. So this time we are drawing support, so we should make sure it touches what? 3 or more swing lows. So all of us should draw this. It's a matter of putting 1 point at the base, then you put another point at another place. Once you are done, automatically the tool will be released. Then you what? You hold it. You hold the handles and what? And drag it to where you want to put your line. I hope it's clear. Please, are you done? Please, why is my volume not coming?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
You are there?
Yeah, we are here. We are here.
Okay. Good. So now that be what? Your support, or this time it will be your what? Your support. Because you are looking for what? Swing lows. So it will be your support line. Good. So this is how we use the trend line to draw our support resistance. However, let's go to the tools again. Before that, if you want to delete your line, just click on it. Click on the tools, click on the line. You see there is a box on top there with what? Options for you to what? To edit the line. The first one is what? The color. If you click on it, you will see the color. So you can switch between the colors. You can switch between the colors. Please, are you following? Yes. Then the second one is what? Is the size. Is the size of the line. So you can what? Change the size of the line. You can change the size of the line. Then the third one is what? The type, the line type. You can what? You can what? Use what? Dotted line or whatever line you want to use. And if you want to lock it, the padlock there is to what? To lock your line, or we also call it docking. If you lock it, it's what? It means maybe you want to lock it for future. In future, you come back and visit it again. You can click on it. and your line is what? Locked. This time you can't do anything with it. You see, when you even click on it, you can't do anything with it. You can possibly what? Unlock it. Then you can what? You can delete if you don't need it again. So all of us, I think we have drawn a short line. We have the colors. We have changed the size. We have what? We have changed the type. We have locked it and we have deleted it. Please, have you deleted it?
We are deleting it.
Okay. Now, after you are done with deletion, you go to your tools again. Click on the first one. Now you could see what? Horizontal. Let's use the horizontal. Now, instead of you to use the trend line to draw 2 points, once you are drawing a horizontal support resistance, you can what? Choose the horizontal. And that one you click once. What it does is that it will draw a horizontal line to span through the entire chart. So you click, you choose horizontal. Now you come and click where you want to put your support resistance. Then you move it to touch what? At least 3 swing lows. 3 swing lows. Please, are you done?
We are on it.
Okay. So after we are done with the second support resistance line, I'll switch off my screen. I'll let somebody switch on what? His or his own screen. But then we will delete them. We will use the same time frame. The person will draw it for us to see. Then we move on. Okay. Now the next support resistance line that I see is what? Horizontal. Is this place. So I've gotten two swing lows. So if I want to draw it perfectly, always make sure you are touching more swing lows if possible. So I'll push it so that if I look at where my far left, you could see that place with there is what? A swing low there. At least touch some of them. Because technical analysis is what? We use the previous data. To predict what will happen in future. So what you have to do is, when you are drawing, don't concentrate on what? Only the current trend or only the current chart. What? You have to make sure your lines are also what? Crossing the previous history. Because sometimes you may think that this support resistance is here. You are waiting, maybe you have placed your orders there before you realize it has what? It has hit a history and bounced. Either you don't enter or maybe you end up losing. Like this Dogecoin call that I drew all my lines, but Doge is already having a good news. And they are moving on. So until they reach where they want to go or the history they want to repeat, you cannot stop it. So whatever they are doing, they are just repeating histories. Exactly. Okay, so now I have drawn my second support resistance line. If I have to draw the next line, let me show you one trick. Sometimes if I draw the first two lines and I think it's correct for me, what I usually do to make it fast for me is that day I will trade that same interval. So I will use my eye to measure the same intervals to measure the same intervals to what? To be as my what? Support resistance. So if I am to draw another one, I won't even bother myself to go search for the next data and other things. I can just place it. And if it is what? It is of equal size to what I do, maybe I can bring it down here. Bring it down here. There you go. Or let me push the top here. Okay. So you will see that if you look at the previous data, you could see it is hitting some swing lows over there. You understand? I can draw the next one using that same imagery. I want the same what? The same or equal interval. So with this, if you go back here, you could see I am closer to some swing lows here. So maybe I can adjust to reach this. Please, are you following?
Yes.
Good. So we have learned how to draw what? Support resistance. Now we were drawing what? Support. We were drawing support, but then it can also serve as what? Our resistance. Now we are going to use red line. Let's change the color. And let's say with this time we are drawing what? We are drawing resistance. We are drawing resistance. So what we have to look for? So we will look for the highs. We will look the highs. So here, let's say I'll draw my. Let me go. Let's say I'll draw my first resistance here. Sometimes, okay, my first resistance. Let me change the color to red, and I'll come. Have you seen where I'm putting my resistance? Yes. So if you want the next resistance, you are looking for the highs. So let me switch here. Maybe I can put my next resistance here. This is a high, so I can put my next resistance. Make sure it crosses more. Please, are you following?
Yes.
Good. So when it happens like that, you could see that the distance here is what? It's like a zone. You understand? Have you seen it? The distance between those two lines is like a zone, and that is where the consolidation actually occurs. So the support resistance doesn't mean that it should actually bounce on your line. It has to come within the zone, then the bounce will occur. So if, let's say, it crosses your line, you shouldn't hesitate to do something. By then, maybe it is trying to take action within that zone. You understand? But in order to, if you want, you have to prevent your graph from being too noisy or something. So sometimes for me, I prefer drawing one line, maybe support, and use it as my support. Clear. Okay, now if we are going to delete everything, now if you come down, there's an eye there. Eye will hide your lines. That eye will hide your lines. Now the small pen on top there is a continuation. It's a continuation. So it means whatever you are doing, you continue. Whatever you are doing is a continuation. Sorry. Sorry. Let's switch it on. By then, below the eye, there is an eraser there. That there is an eraser. I've seen it. Sure. Yeah, so click on it and it will clear everything. It will clear everything. So I'm clearing all my drawing. So you have to also clear all your drawing. Now one person will devote. And the person is going to draw his or her support resistance line for us. After we are done, then we go and study the patterns that we learned yesterday. How to open our trading view or the chart. And I know you all know how to open this place. So once you are here, these blue buttons that I'm clicking on, we call them indicators. So next to the indicators is two arrows. There. This arrow will lead you to to expand your chart. That means you put it on on landscape. Okay, and first I said before you draw anything on the chart or the graph, make sure the indicators are off. So please follow me. So we are going to click on that arrow to bring our screen towards landscape. Okay. Now I said before we are going to draw we are going to draw patterns. I want us to first how to draw support and resistance. So it will depend on the type of time frames, the time frame that you are using. Okay. So now what you will do is that before you will draw support and resistance, of course, I know you all understand what we mean by support and resistance. So first of all, you have to zoom in. So when you zoom in, it means your screen can cover a lot of histories or a lot of data. It means your screen can cover a lot of data, so that you see the chart clearer than expanding it. You understand? Now, if you want to draw support resistance, you could see on your far right hand, you will still see M is the indicators. So the MA, BOL, MACD, KSI, KDJ, you will see them. But then off all of them. Indicators, there's a pencil or a pen there. Anywhere in ICT or software that you see that symbol, it means a drawing tool. For those who study graphic design and those things, use mobile apps for designs, you possibly find all these a tool like this. It's the drawing tool. So we will have to know the type of tools that we will use to draw our support and resistance. Now, if you click on the tool, we have a lot of tools on Binance. If you click on the first tool, it has a lot of tools. A lot of tools that will help us draw whatever you want to draw. Then here we have trend line. We have extend, trend, ray, horizontal, vertical, parallel, price line. Go. With the mobile app, all you need to do is to click on the screen. Once you choose a tool, you click on the screen. Then you start drawing. So now I'm saying that if you want to draw support resistance line, you have to make sure your lines your line actually touches at least 3 or more swing low or swing high. It should touch at least 3 or more swing low and swing high. And we use for the trend line to draw our support and resistance. So let me choose the first two, which is the trend line. Good. What you will do is that here we are now doing support. So what we have to look for is a swing low. We have to look for what? A swing low. So you could see BTC price at what? 38,200. That's the lowest for today. So you click on what? One point. You click on what? Another point. Then you have to make sure your line is touching at least 3 or more swing low. Swing low is where the asset or the movement will hit and what? It will begin to change direction. Good. So in this example, you can see my line is crossing the three swing low below, and this will what? Serve as what? My support. Now this thing that I am moving is also a toolbox. It's also a box that will what? That will let edit individual drawings that you do. So we have the color. You can what? Change the color. We have what? The line size. You can what? Change the size. Then we have type. You can what? Change the type of what line you want to use. Dotted or whatever. You can click on the lock. It means you want to what? To lock it for some period of time, meaning you can't edit it. You can't edit it. Then you can possibly also what? Delete it. Good. So now, because horizontal lines, what the Binance or the trading view tools can offer is that if you click on the first two, you will see horizontal. Once you click on horizontal, it gives you a tool that what? You draw a horizontal line that would span through the entire chart. So wherever you go, you see your support resistance. So for this example, you see I have drawn what? My first support line. Now next support, I can possibly go there, choose the horizontal, then I'll draw another support resistance. Some people can put it here. Me, I'll prefer to put it at this. Support resistance. Once I get what? My first two lines, and I am sure that these lines are correct for me, all that I do is to use my eye to what? To make sure my support resistance line is what? Equal what? Equal intervals. So next one, I'll just put it there. Then I'll drag it and see where it will be equal line for me. I think this place is equal to my eyes, so I'll leave it here. The next one, I'll go back, I'll draw, then not equal, so I'll put it till I get what? An equal line. Then I'll put my support resistance there and put it here. I can edit this one to push some more. Please, are you following? Okay, so this is how we draw the support resistance line. And why do you draw it? You draw it to know the possible regions where to know the possible regions where be you understand, so that if you want to enter into the trade, you place your orders on that. At that point, it will bounce. So people put their trades on them. Maybe today I want to trade. I want to enter three support resistance line. So first I'll put my I'll put my first entry. I'll put my first entry here. The next one, I'll put my next entry here. Then I can put my last entry here. Maybe that is what I can afford today. Then I'll put a stop loss at the 38,200, or even 38,100. I'll put my stop loss there. So I am hoping that immediately it hits the support resistance region, the possible bounce. Then I'll begin to put my take profit where support resistance by support. Buy it at the last line. I'll put my first profit here, second profit here, third profit here. Please, do you understand what I'm showing? Please, do you understand? Hello?
Hi. Hi.
Please, are you following?
I just came home. Miss Gifty. Please, are you following? I think we are only three left. The rest, the network.
Okay. So we know how to draw our support resistance line. So just Mr. Man, stop following. If you want to delete, this is for the delete. The I, below the I is the 2 forward delete, and you delete all your support resistance. The phone is actually full.
The one.
Okay.
Hello, please, were you talking to us? Like, were you asking a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Is someone asking a question?
No, I even thought maybe you were asking a question because I was out and I just came.
No, I was not asking a question. I was just trying to make sure they are following.
For now, we are only 3 left.
Okay.
Yes, you, so myself, and Gifty.
I believe from now, you can draw support resistance using your Binance. You draw support resistance line using your Binance app. And I have shown you one trick for drawing it if you want to make it fast. That is, once you get the first 2 lines, then you draw them in equal interval. Okay. Now, we are going to study the various patterns that we looked at yesterday and see if we will get some. Okay. So the first one is what we call the double. Let's use double bottom. We said the double bottom. We have to look for what? We have to look for a downtrend, and we look for what? Two swing lows, separated by what? A swing high, separated by a swing high. Then we do what? We say that image is not a double bottom. So from this image, the same 5 minutes, let me go to this side. Please, are you following? Let me go to this side. Let me choose. Okay. Let me choose this side. Please. One is one. And no, it shall be. Okay, we can see a lot of double here. Good. So, for example, let's see. This is what? Our support resistance line. Yes, our support resistance line. Great. So, what are we looking for? Two lows. So you could see this place is actually a low. This place is also actually a low. Now, where is the high that is creating? That high will be around here. Please, have you seen it? Please, are you following? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now that you have indicated what your two high separated by what? One low, then you go back to what? You go back to your twos. Charlie. Okay. You go back to your twos. You choose what? You choose the trend line. Let's say you what? You
It seems his network has not been helpful, so it seems let's see. Let's wait for a few minutes to see him come back. The network today has not been helpful. Welcome. Your line went off.
I had a call from my pastor.
Okay.
Pastor man.
I thought maybe your line went off.